Hey everyone! For this video we're going to talk about my trip to Washington DC back in 2010. But for this video we're going outside. Hi everyone, welcome to Autism Abroad. I'm Anna. So today's topic is about my trip to DC. So back in high school I had a choice between New York and Washington DC. And it was a tough choice to make. My trip to New York would have been during school and my trip to DC was in the summer. But my parents didn't have enough money for both, so I had to pick one. I chose DC, mainly because I didn't really want to go to New York with the band and choir. And I just didn't find it fascinating enough. Like, I really like the history of Washington DC, and that's part of why I chose it. Getting to see all these places I have learned about throughout the years, and especially because it was my junior year of high school and I had learned about government and how our government works, our local, state, and federal government. And so seeing these places like the Supreme Court, the outside of the White House, Capitol Hill, all those was more fascinating to me than going to New York. So one of my issues relating to autism is communicating with my peers. I can communicate with people older or younger, but I have a really hard time connecting with people that are my age, and so I try my hardest. Even to this day I still have an issue with it. So I actually hung out around more of the chaperones most of the trip, which was really beneficial because, first of all, a lot of them have already been to DC before, and so they kind of knew a little bit more than others did. And so by being around them, I got to learn different information, and I thought that was really cool. But it was just, I felt very awkward most of the trip, like sharing a room with my peers and stuff. Like, I didn't really talk to them a whole lot, and for me, that's, I like to talk, but I just can't do it around my peers. I have such a hard time with it. But I can easily talk to adults and teachers. Even on my report card from like 4th grade, it says she craves adult attention, tells stories all the time, but does not really talk with her peers a whole lot. So I've had this issue for a long time. Let me know in the comments below if you have this issue. I'm not sure if it's just related to autism or it's just in general. So let me know in the comments. Another issue I had was I freaked out about my suitcase. So I had to take a carry-on because I didn't want to pay for checked bags. And the carry-on I took was the correct size, but when we got on the plane to go to DC out of Madison, my suitcase did not fit in the overhead because someone else had a suitcase that was bigger than mine. So they checked mine, and I didn't know what, I just knew where our destination was. I didn't know what our next flight number was. And my suitcase had the wrong flight number on the checked bag ticket. So like my whole time on the plane, I was like freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, what if my stuff isn't here? Like, I'm not gonna have clothes to change into. I was panicked so much. But my teachers calmed me down and said, you know, it's okay. And when we got to DC, mine was actually the first one off the conveyor belt. So that was a big relief, knowing, okay, I had my bag. So when I had that, I was able to relax a little bit. One thing I did really like about this trip was it was entirely planned. We had an itinerary that we strictly followed. And for me, that was great because I knew what I was doing when I was doing it, and that helped keep me calm most of the trip. And we didn't really have any side adventures. One thing that did freak me out was I forgot my money and stuff on the bus one time when we were at Mount Vernon, so I didn't have any money that I could get souvenirs, and we couldn't take pictures there. So this is when I kind of started my little obsession with picking up things from places I've been. Currently it's rocks, but in DC it was just thinking light on my feet, and I grabbed a paint chip off Mount Vernon. There's a paint chip on the floor, and I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of a cool souvenir. I also grabbed a blade of grass. So then, what do I do when we're at the White House? Just outside the White House? I stick my hand through the fence and pull some grass. So I have grass from the White House lawn, which I think is pretty cool. Currently though, it's rocks, and there are other things I've collected on trips which I'll share in future videos. Speaking of future videos, if you liked my videos, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my travel videos, especially because I'll be traveling to Europe in August, I get to share a lot more then, and I've been so many more places that I want to talk about. So if you like it, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. You'll get notifications when I have a new video up. So I just want to say thank you. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to share my videos too. I want to spread the word and see if other people have the same issues that I do relating to autism. Have a nice day. It's such a beautiful day here. I'm gonna try to do something outdoors. We don't get almost 70-degree days in April very often, so it's pretty nice out. So take care, everyone. Bye.